The government of Ghana, with the support of the World Bank and the USAID, presents GCAP Diaries. The Diaries showcases the success stories of the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project being implemented by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
The project is looking at what you call the food security crops.
This drying floor project has been a major intervention from GCAP, and we are very grateful.
We train them on how to grow lettuce, aubergines, spring onions, and on how to grow basil.
We gave them $130,000 as the GCAP support.
Watch GCAP Diaries on GTV every Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
Agriculture contribution to GDP over the years has shown a steady reduction from 35.4% in 2006 to 22.6% in 2014. This is due to the reducing dominance of cocoa and the increasing relevance of the service sector, which now contributes about 50% to GDP. Products exported include cocoa, pineapple, banana, yam, chili pepper, cashew, maize, smoked and salted fish, among others. Sustaining and increasing the agriculture sector's contribution to GDP requires a deliberate and concerted effort to boost non-traditional agri-commodities, as recent trends in the cocoa industry seems to suggest that that crop alone cannot regain the past glories of the sector. That is why the promotion and export of non-traditional agri-products is vital for any strategy that aims to increase agri-exports and contribution to GDP. However, the non-traditional sector is without challenges, as its contribution to export has been on the decline in recent years from 29% in 2009 to 17% in 2013. One of the challenges in that subsector is the access to agri-infrastructure, technology, and land. One of the major players in the cultivation and export of non-traditional agricultural products is Vegpro Limited, a multinational commercial farm involved in cultivating baby corn in the Volta region. Baby corn is a delicacy in Europe and the Americas, used in most salads and continental cuisines. Vegpro exports 2 tons of baby corn to the UK on a daily basis. Established in 2011, the company adopts modern irrigation methods to cultivate on 1,070 hectares of land in New Torgum in the North Tong district. It employs over 350 staff and works with hundreds of outgrowers. Facilities at Vegpro include an office, an ultra-modern pack house where the baby corn is packed for export to Europe, and a large farmland. When Vegpro began its operations in 2011, the company was challenged due to the absence of the requisite infrastructure to undertake modernized agriculture. These included access roads to farms, an efficient irrigation system, and electricity connectivity to power an irrigation system which will facilitate all-year cultivation of the baby corn. Jagdish Patel is the general manager of Vegpro.
Vegpro Ghana Limited is a subsidiary of Vegpro Kenya Limited. Vegpro Kenya is the biggest growers and exporters of vegetables and flowers in Kenya. And in 2011, we came here in Ghana to explore the vegetable production here, because there are a lot of advantages. Number one is there is a huge amount of land available, the water is available, you have airports, you have a seaport, So, and our final destination is UK, which is more near, so it assists with the freight, reduction in the freight. So that's an advantage, so we came here. And also it falls in the tropical climate, so you can grow majority of the tropical crops and export to UK. Vegpro, right now we have a farm, we have acquired a farm of 1070 hectares, and in that 1070 hectares we farm in circles, and each circle is 64 hectares. So currently we are doing baby corn crop in 4 of the circles, and that is the crop we grow and we export to our marketing company in UK.
In 2013, Vegpro, after failing to raise the necessary credit to finance its infrastructural constraints, approached the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, GCAP, to assist through its Merchant Grants Facility by procuring a water pump and providing funds to extend electricity connectivity to its farms, a 6.5-kilometer stretch, and undertake further training of its increasing numbers of outgrowers as a result of anticipated expansions as a result of the proposed GCAP support. The proposed support will empower Vegpro to irrigate and farm on an extra 64 hectares of land with capacity to produce 2,400 tons of baby corn a year, and also direct farm jobs to 75 outgrowers. Galina Okate Ako is the GCAP agribusiness analyst. She explains the importance of Vegpro's proposal and why GCAP decided to support Vegpro.
GCAP is supporting Vegpro with $479,000 as our contribution to their smallholder center pivot management system. Their contribution to this is the cost of the center pivot, which they have installed for the smallholder farmers that are going to benefit from their program as outgrowers. A center pivot is one of the recent modern technologies under irrigation. So what it is it's just an enhanced sprinkler system that rotates around the farm. You are able to also control the movement depending on the amount of water or fertilizer you are putting on a crop. And so it is very electronic, and you can also operate it even in your office whilst it's on the farm. So it's just an enhanced irrigation system that is being used currently all around the world. The GCAP support is basically to remove binding constraints from nucleus farmers to enable them expand their outgrower scheme to be able to help more outgrowers produce more crops. In the past, agribusinesses would borrow from the banks. GCAP necessarily is not replacing what the banks do. So you would see that with GCAP, we do not fund operational activities or working capital activities. We do not fund it. The reason being that we do not want to crowd out the financial institutions. So what we are saying is that we will only support capital items that can be amortized over a period. That's what GCAP is doing. And even with that, we have limited it to land development, warehousing, irrigation equipment, and the likes. We do not fund machinery and equipment.
Barely a year after approving $479,000 to finance Vegpro's proposal, significant gains have already emerged in the operations of Vegpro. The center pivot system, which has a capacity to irrigate an additional 64 hectares of land, is almost completed, but for the installation of its pump, which is expected in the country in November. Richard Bismarck-Che is the field manager for the Smallholder Center Pivot Management Program at Vegpro.
Currently, the farmers are engaged in subsistence farming, depending on the rain. And the rain comes once, which means that once they produce, sometimes they're not able to harvest that which they should, limiting their capacity to produce more. So with the provision of the center pivot irrigation equipment, the farmers have the opportunity to produce all year round, 4 cycles, high value cash crops, which would be exported and thereby increasing their incomes and enhancing their livelihoods and improving their standards of living as well.
The government of Ghana, with the support of the World Bank and the USAID, presents GCAP Diaries. The Diaries showcases the success stories of the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project being implemented by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
The project is looking at what you call the food security crops.
This drying floor project has been a major intervention from GCAP, and we are very grateful.
We train them on how to grow lettuce, aubergines, spring onions, and on how to grow basil.
We gave them $130,000 as the GCAP support.
Watch GCAP Diaries on GTV every Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
Even before the facility is operational, apart from expectations being high among outgoers, they have started reaping the benefits of the agronomic skills they have acquired under GCAP's support. These include competencies in the cultivation, watering, and harvesting of baby corn, land development, water management, group dynamics and teamwork, record keeping, fertilizer application, among others. Margaret Saba is an outgrower at Vegpro.
In recent times, we mostly rely on the natural rains for farming. We could harvest about an acre of our farm produce, rendering us to a no-profit turnover. Since the interventions of these initiatives, we are able to benefit 4 times the initial output, daily or annually, with or without the rainy season. I must admit it's a positive initiative.
The agronomic skills training had been very relevant, bearing in mind that most outgoers have had no formal training since they ventured into farming decades ago. The recent modern scientific approach to farming is therefore vital in inducting them to share in the success story of Vegpro. Sach Avudze is the program manager for ASI, the training institution that administrated the trainings for the outgoers and other Vegpro staff.
We working together with Vegpro as part of the GCAP sponsorship of this program. We have facilitated, ASI facilitated about 75 farmers as beneficiaries of this project. They have been trained on technical agronomic production skills. At least we've taken them through 3 crops: baby corn, butternut squash, and bird's eye chilies. And apart from that, we've given them business and financial training. So the farmers are able to undertake record-keeping activities on their farm, and they are able to understand what it entails in terms of financial recording. So all of that has been done with the farmers. And currently, I think they are much prepared and ready to undertake production activities. We're still doing a couple of mop-up training programs with them. But apart from that, I think the program has been a good one. And farmers are very much enthusiastic about it. They are hopeful that this program, the opportunity to farm on this land, will turn their lives around.
Another beneficiary of the capacity building is Prince Honu, an experienced farmer in the district. Prince has been farming for over 3 decades with very little scientific knowledge until he enrolled onto the GCAP program at Vegpro. He shares his experiences months after the training.
For the past years, I have been farming, but there was no improvement in my farming. But now, as they have brought this project to this Togome irrigation project, our training that we have made us to understand farming more than what we have done the previous year. And then now I'm able to farm with irrigation at the correct time, how to apply fertilizers and the other equipment that are used in farms. That makes me to be very happy about this project. Thank you.
Similar sentiments are expressed by Fidelia Zro, another outgrower.
Before the inception of this project, we could farm for a year within the 2 farming seasons. There will be no rain. We had low harvest. We are so happy about this project because we have been trained. GCAP has trained us on how to cultivate crops like baby corn, bitternut squash, and chili pepper. They taught us how to apply fertilizers, how we should keep our farmlands well. They also taught us how we could apply good farming practices. So we believe the insertion of this project will help us assess water, which will help with the increase of our produce for market. At the market also, Vegpro will buy our produce for export, which will help increase our finances for the upkeep of our families. So we as farmers are waiting for the commencement of the project.
A key component of the GCAP support is the extension of electricity over a 5-kilometer distance from the Vegpro offices to its farm. This includes the erection of high-tension poles, laying of cables, and installation of a transformer. The availability of electricity will relieve Vegpro of the huge cost of buying over 10,000 gallons of diesel every month to power its irrigation systems. Jagdish Patel explains progress made in the electrification component of Vegpro's GCAP support.
With the assistance of GCAP matching grant, we were able to bring the whole overhead high voltage line right up to the place here. So this is where the 11 kVA line has arrived right up to the project site. And then after that, what we are remaining is the connecting to this transformer where I am here. So this is the 2000 kVA transformer, and so that it can cater for all the center pivots including the GCAP project, and in future we are sure going to have a biopower, and for that biopower all the waste from the crop will be utilized to generate a power, and that can also be fed into the main line. So it is with that purpose that we have this 2000 kVA transformer. What is left right now is to connect this high voltage line to the transformer with a metering cubicle, for which we are just expecting the ECG people to come and give us a metering cubicle, and we connect the power.
When completed, the center pivot system will have the capacity to irrigate 64 hectares of land, which will be used to grow and harvest baby corn in 4 cycles a year. This will lead to engaging 75 more outgrowers to produce 2,400 tons of baby corn every year. This will not only increase productivity, but also positively affect the socio-economic lives of Vegpro's outgrowers. Hilarion Nyako, production manager at Vegpro, expresses optimism about the prospect of the GCAP support to Vegpro.
This is a center pivot provided by GCAP to support Vegpro and the outgrowers in their operations. The center pivots an irrigation facility which covers 64 hectares. It has a radius of 452 meters. And at this project, we are having 72 farmers, outgrowers. Each of them is having 2 acres of a unit area for production. This machine can irrigate this whole field in 8.9 hours. Within a day, it can cover the whole area of 64 hectares. That is 1 revolution. That is the highest speed. From 3.2 millimeters up to about 30 millimeters, you can use this machine to irrigate. Currently, we are waiting for the water. The pipeline is